Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. We are coming up on a very exciting week of game releases, and it includes one of my most anticipated games of the entire year. If you are around my age and you grew up with Dragon Ball Tenkaichi, you gotta be excited for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, a love letter to all of us that played Tenkaichi growing up, and really, it is Tenkaichi 4. Incredibly excited. Again, you've got north of 180 characters in the base game, north of 200 characters in the game when you include the DLC characters as well. A lot of reason to be excited. I do want to highlight and break down the entire system requirements, but before that, I want to note, if you have yet to pick up the game, our friends at Green Man Gaming do have the game discounted. The base game is 8% off for $64.39, and the Deluxe Edition is 8% off for $92. Remember, the Deluxe Edition does include 3 days of early access. On top of that, it does include the Season Pass, which includes content from Dragon Ball Super Superhero, as well as Dragon Ball Daima. There's going to be north of 20 characters added as a part of the Season Pass. Given that Gohan Beast is going to be in the Season Pass content, at least I would imagine. That's not confirmed. I would imagine that he's going to be one of the selling points. You know, I'm pretty excited to check him out, considering Gohan was my favorite character in Dragon Ball growing up. But nevertheless, let us now break down the system requirements, which unfortunately, you know, I wasn't expecting anything different out of Bandai Namco, but we only got 2 tiers of system requirements, but we do have clarification as far as what performance to expect. At this point, we do not have any clarification for Steam Deck compatibility, so keep that in mind. Once we hear about that, I will let you guys know. But let's break down the minimum requirements. You are looking at an Intel Core i5 9600K, Ryzen 5 2600, 8GB of RAM, which is pretty interesting, GTX 980, and an RX 590 or Intel Arc A750. This is for 1080p 60 FPS with graphics settings at low, and frame rate might dip in graphics intensive scenes. Based on the minimum system requirements and how it's outlined, I think this game will be able to be ran on the Steam Deck. Because the minimum requirements is for 1080p 60 FPS at low settings. Remember that the deck is a 1200 by 800 800p resolution, so it's less intensive than 1080p. You're talking low settings. 60 FPS isn't absolutely necessary. If it runs at 30 FPS, I still consider that playable. I am led to believe it's going to run on the deck. That's just me assessing it from the minimum requirements, but we have no exact confirmation on that. But that is 1080p 60 at low settings. Recommended: Intel Core i7 9700K, Ryzen 5 3600, 16GB of RAM, an RTX 2060, and an AMD RX Vega 64. Now, this is for 1080p 60 FPS with the graphics settings at high. So yes, while an RTX 2060 isn't that intensive, it's a couple generations old, and even in the generation where it came out, it was a mid-level GPU. This is only for 1080p 60, and it also does note frame rate might drop in graphics intensive scenes. So if you're looking to play this game at 1440p or 4K, you are going to need a little bit beefier of a GPU. Probably not by that much, though. This isn't a super intensive game, all things considered, based on these system requirements. Looking at these requirements, like, I've seen crazier. I've seen games have minimum RAM requirements of 16GB pretty regularly now. I've seen games regularly recommend something like a 3060 or a 3070. Here you have a 2060. That's nothing that crazy, but it is for 1080p 60 at high settings, and I don't know if high is the highest setting for this game. Sometimes it's low, medium, high, ultra, but a fighting game like this, where I don't expect this to be the most refined and polished PC port in the sense of having a billion options. We just don't generally see that out of Bandai Namco games, especially anime licensed games out of Bandai Namco. Not expecting the world out of a PC version. I am thinking that it's going to be able to run on the Steam Deck. Now, as far as the recommended requirements go, it also does know Windows 10 version 1809 or later, and a 4GB VRAM GPU required for DirectX 12 API. These days, you know, most GPUs have around 8GB or more. If you have, you know, something like a 3060, 3070... a 3080, you're gonna be golden with a game like this. But yeah, the system requirements aren't anything crazy. It's just with a game like this, you just really hope that the PC version is at least good enough. I'm not expecting, you know, Sparking Zero to be one of those PC ports that's just a super polished, really accentuates PC hardware. I don't expect that out of Sparking Zero. What I want out of Sparking Zero is something at a baseline level that works. That is all I want, and that is all that I think the majority of people buying this game. If you're looking at Sparking Zero to be one of those games that really utilizes every last inch of your power on your PC, it's not going to be that game. It's just not. But can it be a good-looking game that hopefully doesn't stutter, that hopefully doesn't crash all the time? Yeah, that's what I want out of a game like this. The baseline level expectation is, okay, it works. And I think that's what most people at the end of the day want out of the game. Another awesome note about this game, 29 gigabytes. Can we have like a huge round of applause? That's me applauding for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero being 29 gigabytes. You guys, let's go through some of these games that I have installed on my PC right now. Final Fantasy 16. How big is that game? Let's just have a look at it. Oh, 127 gigabytes. Let's look at even something a little bit smaller like Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, which was a remake or a remaster of a game from the 360 era. Oh, 58 gigabytes for that. If you guys got God of War Ragnarok installed, Black Myth Wukong, those games are north of 100 gigabytes. These game file sizes have just been exponentially increasing. Now, when we get a game that's only 29 gigabytes, I gotta sit down for a second. I gotta give them a round of applause because, guys, I am currently in a situation where I do a lot of my gaming on this laptop I have in front of me right now. It's only got a 1 terabyte in it, and I am trying to make that work. You know, it is what it is. A lot of you guys only have a terabyte. I think the setup that most people have is usually a 1 terabyte SSD or a 1 terabyte NVMe. 1 terabyte is not cutting it these days for a lot of games, and thankfully with Sparking Zero, I mean 29 gigabytes, you want to install one game, and you can install 4 Sparking Zeros if you did want. But incredibly excited. Also, do note that this is a Bandai Namco published game, so while the official date of release is October the 11th for the standard edition release, it's October 8th for the deluxe edition. So October 7th, 6 p.m. Eastern for the deluxe edition, and then October 10th, 6 p.m. Eastern for the standard edition. Preloads will be going live a few days before the official launch, so you'll be able to download the game and have it ready. But given it's only a 29 gigabyte install, gonna be fairly easy and simple to install it and be on your merry way as far as that's concerned. Again, unfortunate, and hopefully at some point Bandai Namco will start adopting, you know, 4 tiers of system requirements, because it would be nice to gauge at, you know, how's this gonna run at 4K if you want to max it out and get 60 FPS, and clarification on Steam Deck support a week out from release. I feel like that should be the standard at this point, but it is what it is. What can you do? Again, link to Green Man Gaming. Get it a little bit cheaper. You'll get a Steam code for whatever version of the game you want. They've got the standard, deluxe, and ultimate, but that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.